Hi, welcome to Tunescape. This video is going to be about some advanced animation techniques. I may move quickly through some of the motions in this tutorial. If you find you're having difficulty keeping up with what I'm doing, try taking a look at some of the earlier videos in this playlist. Let's jump right in. I have this glowing capsule here, which has a couple of keyframes on it. At 0 here, you can see that it is white with some high intensity. If I go to the next keyframe, we're at red with a low intensity. Let's say this was originally set to this lavender color. If I was afraid of changing the settings and being able to get back to the same color, I can always copy the frame as is, then make my changes. And if I didn't like it, I could always paste right back to the same frame, which is effectively an undo. Quickly create keyframes for a looping effect by using the keyframe copy and paste buttons. The animation timeline can remain open while an object's properties are open, allowing you to move along the timeline and create keyframes on the fly. So right now I'm at a lavender color at 112 here. If I just bump up on the timeline here, I can add a key, and we'll copy this first frame and paste it here. Right, step up again, add a key, and copy this guy. So now what I have is an alternating color effect. Once you have the original two keyframes for an animation that goes back and forth, it's just a matter of moving to the points on the timeline that you need and copy pasting the frame as you want it. By alternating between a set of frames, a loop effect is achieved. Or I can adjust these values although now you see I have a 112, then a 139, and then back to 122 because I've adjusted this number so they're out of order. If this is a problem, I can always close the window, open it back up, and they'll be back in order again. In order to loop over a section, you simply need to set your in and out flags, turn on the section play, and loop. And now, when I play, the timeline will loop just between there, and I can watch my animation go. Now, suppose I would like it to stay white a little bit longer. I can adjust my curve here on the color keyframe. So what is a curve? The way you can look at a curve is the left side of the curve is the keyframe that you're coming from, this keyframe right here at 0 in this case. And the top right corner is the equivalent of the next keyframe value. So on a graph here, which is the curve, the values indicate how the animation will take place from keyframe A to keyframe B. This here is an ease out. This is ease in. This is ease both. And the standard is linear. So again, I can change this to an ease out if I want it to stay white a little bit longer before it starts heading up to the next keyframe. Now, if I start playing again, the effect is slightly different. This is linear. Ease out. Ease in. And ease both. One note on performance. The more objects and keyframes there are in your Tunescape, the larger the file size will be, and possibly the longer it will take to download when shared on the cloud. If you want to help minimize the file size and help things run faster, you can delete individual keyframes that aren't being used. In this case, between 122 and 137, the object doesn't need to move, rotate, or scale, so I can remove these keyframes. This also helps for readability when you have less objects on the screen at one time. There are currently no limits on the number of objects or keyframes in a single Tunescape. Please keep in mind that it is possible to place so many objects within a small space that performance may take a hit, which can lead to lag and discomfort. Trimming down unused keyframes is also helpful. Keeping your Tunescapes free of lag will help ensure you and everyone who views your Tunescape has the best possible experience. If you find that when creating your Tunescape you start to experience some lag, remember that other users are very likely to experience the same kind of lag and discomfort. That's going to do it for this tutorial video series. Thanks for joining me. Check us out on social media to keep up to date with the latest information and news on Tunescape. Now get creating. I can't wait to see what you're going to come up with.